qualifier. So then we begin with Alina HARNASKO, 5th in the all-around competition, gymnast who produced such exquisite work at the European Championships in Kiev, the 19-year-old from Minsk. And she was a bronze medalist with the ball in the Sofia World Cup a couple of weeks ago. Alina HARNASKO getting us underway in the ball final. 25.8 was her score in qualification. "16 World Cup medals for her. The only gold with the clubs in Sofia in 2017. I must correct myself from earlier. She was the silver medalist with the ball in Sofia, the all-around bronze medalist. Quite a stronger competition this time, but very stable, establishing her penché turn, but had to make the adjustment step, which will carry with it clear execution deduction. Confident unsighted catch behind the back. She is an expressive and exciting performer to watch. Came into this year with 4 really very new routines.
25.1.
For HARNASKO, 25.1. Execution down by a 10th. Difficulty accounting for the rest of the drop of 0.7 from qualification.
Please welcome Sabina Tashkent, Uzbekistan.
Second chance for us to have a look at Sabina Tashkent from Uzbekistan. Having placed 5th in the hoop competition, she comes into this as the 7th strongest qualifier, just as she did in the hoop final. 23.85 was her score in qualification.
You are my best friend. You are my everything. Suddenly now, you were the best of me. The reason that I believe. Suddenly now, and I try to keep us alive, but you're cold, cold, cold. Not every second that my heart Still wanna keep us alive, but it's cold, 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 cold. When the music dies, it's all black and white, and there's no sunrise. When the music dies, so cold. Now every second that my heart skips it. When the music dies.
That's a really well choreographed routine that she performs with sensitivity.
Uzbekistan.
Some moments of real control and underpinned by evident balletic training as well. The reigning Asian all-around champion, she won the title in Pattaya in Thailand in June of 2019. Confidently establishing her balance at the start of the routine, moving up into the releve position. So difficult to keep the axis in the penché turns. Well controlled trap, creatively done. Always such a wonderful moment for an athlete to get to perform in their home city. She has enjoyed great multi-sport games success throughout her career, the all-around silver medalist at the Jakarta Palembang Asian Games of 2018.
35.
That's a really good performance from Tashkent. 24.35. She's up by about half a mark from her qualification score. It did look to be more secure, more in control. And she's currently in second place.
Anastasia Salas taklif qilinadi. Belarusiya. Please welcome Anastasia Salas, Belarus.
So to the bronze medalist with the hoop, Anastasia Salas. Third strongest qualifier here, 26.1. First time that she has competed at Tashkent. Really has revitalised what she does as a performer, really changed things in the past year. So much about the routine that worked so very well.
Anastasia
Her execution
Salas, Belarus.
in qualification was 8.6. Now, how much of that will be eroded by the loss of the apparatus Just a small moment, that's all it was, but it will carry with it such easily identifiable execution deductions. In control with her turns. Super toe point kept throughout. But did have that moment where the apparatus was lost for a short time.
The score of Anastasia Salas, 24.15.
For Salas, it's 24.15. So she's down by almost 2 marks from the scoring qualification. Has her positioned in third, but behind Tashkent, who was the 7th strongest qualifier. Worth reminding ourselves, this is still just a 19-year-old gymnast.
Please welcome Tatyana Volozhanina, Bulgaria.
Now to Tatyana Volozhanina from Bulgaria. This is a gymnast who was so impressive at the national championships back in August, taking the all-around silver medal, a real surprise performer, 6th strongest in qualification.
Dancing bears, painted wings, once upon a December, someone holds me safe and warm across my memory. Once upon a December.
I was going to mention to you that Volozhanina is particularly known for her turns, her pirouettes, but it's like rather a moot point. I think you can see that for yourself. She really does have some lovely balletic work. Such control in her turns. And a very striking feature of her gymnastics. She really was quite unwell towards the end of 2020 with the coronavirus. How lovely to see her in her senior international debut. This is most palpably a prospect. I'm sure there are many of you who are fans of Bulgarian rhythmic gymnastics who are watching this young athlete with real excitement. Establishing the attitude devant and then moving into a passé style position. Mixing up the turns. She's rapid in her penché. Adding the leg bend as well. Little adjustment at the end. It was disguised well, but she did have to shuffle across to secure the apparatus. But compared to qualification, it's pretty similar And the score reflects it as well. 23.85 for Volozhanina. Fourth position, just outside the medals, but that's a very credible first display in a World Cup event.
We'll
have the opportunity to see her later on.
Please welcome Ekaterina Vedenieva, Slovenia.
Now the gymnast from Slovenia, Ekaterina Vedenieva, fifth strongest in qualification and currently second in the Olympic qualification race from the World Cups, having already secured a place at the World Championships. More on the complexities of that later. Let's enjoy her routine. At 26, there is a strong case to make for Vedenieva being at her absolute best as a performer. A truly inspirational story as an athlete. Now, there seemed to be a moment at the end of the routine where she had to improvise just a touch, but managed to disguise it reasonably well, or at least minimise deduction opportunities. Another gymnast with lovely turns, the classical attitude, the derrière position, the back attitude, which is the most recognisable and certainly in rhythmic, the most classical. But also uses the à la seconde position before transitioning into that lovely split pirouette. An athlete who you can see the balletic training in. There, palpably an adjustment necessary. She's a quick thinker, isn't she? You can see the experience of Vedenieva, and that didn't quite go according to plan.
The score of Ekaterina Vedenieva, 23.
Best World Cup moment of her career was the ribbon bronze in Tashkent in 2019. It will not be repeated in terms of a podium finish in the ball final. 23.65. She's in fifth position with 3 to go. It's Harnasko, Tashkent and Salos. But we have the Averina twins to go one after t'other. And we start with the champion from the all-around yesterday and the gold medalist with the hoop, Dina AVERINA. 27.9 in qualification. Her difficulty was 19.2. Massive D score. Reigning world champion with this piece. no doubt at all as to the complexity of that display from Dina AVERINA.
Russia.
So many World Championship titles. Her World Cup record in 2019, 14 gold medals. But she's fond of saying that every season is like a blank sheet of paper. You come off the podium, you forget about all of your titles, you start working again. This season more so than any other, for obvious reasons. How does she build the difficulty? Again, it's the unsighted catches with the apparatus. Just like that one. Little releases and regrasps constantly. Little moments where the execution perhaps not quite as strong as on other occasions. Rapid in her turns though. It's all the extra little flourishes here and there. She just packs every second with activity. It's a busy routine, and to keep control of the apparatus during such busyness is not even remotely simple.
The score of Dina AVERINA, 28.15.
Has she difficulty from qualification? She has by a single tenth, but she's also increased the execution. 28.15. She goes up by almost 3/10 from the qualification performance and goes into the lead with HARNASKO in silver. Tashkent currently occupying bronze. There is one very obvious threat for the medals to come.
Arina taklif qilinadi. Russia. Please welcome Arina AVERINA, Russia.
To Arina AVERINA, the second strongest in qualification with a 27.45. She just finished fourth with the hoop. Was the world champion with the ball several years ago. It looked more secure than with the hoop.
Arina AVERINA,
As the code of
Russia.
points concurred, the judges come to the same conclusion. Second strongest performer in qualification was Arina AVERINA. We still have one more to go after this. Starts with strong control in her attitude pirouette. Might have needed to take adjustment steps for that, but controlled it well. Very good reach. All those little touches like that, just rebound after rebound. Tenths here and there getting added to the difficulty score. No doubt that both of the Averinas have a strong understanding of how to maximise the code of points, how to get every opportunity for difficulty out of it. And that's what any successful gymnast does. It's a little bit locked in conversation with herself, Arina AVERINA.
The score of Arina AVERINA, 28.4.
First place, 28.4 for Arina AVERINA. 19.5 difficulty score. She adds 1.1 from qualification. So Dina is in second place.
Please welcome Laura Zeng,
Arina
United
AVERINA
States of America.
is looking like claiming the gold. Now, can Laura Zeng attack the podium places? 8th strongest in qualification. 20.4. Needs a big jump up if she's going to do this. Most unfortunate that there were a couple of moments, particularly the notable one just a matter of seconds ago where Zeng lost control of the apparatus in what is otherwise a really well-composed routine, an exciting routine. Interesting gymnast. Zeng again has a lot of control in her turns. Very much at her best with the hoop and the ball. Good unsighted trap of the apparatus. Keeps her upper body form strong as she pirouettes. Important that the arms are in control as well. No doubting her leap work. Second time, third time less secure in comparison to the first. Fouette turns with a sharp kick out. A little bit of travelling from a perspective of the standing foot. Just starts to slide across a little, and there we saw the moment where the apparatus unfortunately left her grasp. And she knew it. Oh, she knew it. Keen computer scientist and web designer, great academic, a real scholar who has secured a place at Yale University, such a prestigious institution. 21-year-old, originally from Connecticut.